this area here was a very key area. Once price managed to overcome these levels of PD resistance, it then directly managed to challenge the 618 mark. Welcome to the Price Detector. Thanks again for joining. This is Joseph, and peace be upon you all. Today we are having a look at Bittensor TAO's chart and where the potential price action will be according to our PD levels in the next, let's say, 24 hours. Before we have a look at Bittensor's price action, here in front of you, I just overlaid Bitcoin's price on light orange. From a directional perspective, how closely Bittensor TAO follows Bitcoin price action. If Bitcoin goes down, then TAO follows. This is applicable to the majority of altcoins in the crypto market. If you see any crypto trader that does not look at Bitcoin first and just trades an altcoin blindly, then that's a very telltale sign if someone in the crypto space is knowing what he's saying or not. As you know, price can either be bullish, bearish, or neutral. Let's have a look according to our PD levels where in the next 24 hours price for Bitcoin can go. Once we identify and analyze where price can go for Bitcoin, we can safely move over and trade our altcoins. But first step, guys, always look at Bitcoin first. Unfortunately, in the last 24 hours, we broke down very key support PD levels. We tried to overcome this area here and turn it into support. Unfortunately, we just broke down from these areas. The next PD level to closely look at is the 59,810 mark. If we manage to overcome this level and turn this into support, we are going to challenge back the 60,654 mark area. If we manage to overcome that area, we're looking to challenge again the 61,000 mark. And once we overcome this area, we're looking at very minimal PD resistance above up until the 68,000 mark, where we have our first serious collection of resistance. We're not saying that price goes straight up to challenge the 68,000 mark. No, as you can see, we have a couple of PD resistance levels that we need to take care of at the 63,300 mark, 64,400 mark, and the 65,500 mark. Once these are overcome, we then have at the 67,500 mark, and only then do we get to challenge the 68,000 mark. Once that is challenged, only then, once that area is overcome, is where we're looking at to challenge the 70,700 mark. Now, all of that price action is only at the mid and long term. Now, in the short term, as I've said, and we're looking to challenge the 59,800 mark. If we manage to bounce and then re-challenge the 60,650 from a bullish perspective, we should be looking at overcoming this area and then turning that into support and then re-challenging the 61,900 mark. And this is from a bullish perspective. So we have a bullish zone that we can highlight here between the 61.4 and the 62,500 mark. If we manage to bounce around this area here and between these two levels, we're looking at a neutral price action between the 59,800 mark and the 60,800 mark. And for a very bearish price action, if we break down from this PD support level, we're looking at very strong and decent PD support down at the 59,000 mark up until the 58,600 mark. So this is our bearish zone for the short term. Keep an eye on these. Since we now identified our zones at Bitcoin, we can go ahead and safely trade our altcoin. And now we can have a look at Bittensor TAO's price action As you'll see, I've started trading Bittensor TAO a couple of days ago. This is my current position at $6,000, and I've accumulated 10.227 TAO at the 587 mark as my average price. My current open buy orders are marked in green at the 527.7, at the 501.7, and at the 5 and down at the 462.7 mark. Feel free to trade along and mark these levels as your next buy orders. My current strategy for Bittensor is not just flipping for a profit. I'm trying to accumulate TAO as much as possible. So let's have a look at Bittensor from a bullish perspective. If we manage to overcome these PD resistance areas, only then we can go ahead and challenge the 618 target. And let's highlight this zone here as a bullish zone. If Bittensor continues to consolidate, it can either consolidate below this current PD level, which it seems that it cannot turn this area here into support. Let's mark this area here as an area of consolidation. And from a bearish perspective, if we break down this collection of resistance levels, then we're looking at price action closer to this area here. If we summarize from a bullish perspective, we're looking at the price action between the 580 to 615 mark. From a neutral perspective, if price continues to 560 level, and from a bearish perspective, in the next, let's say, 24 hours or so, we're looking at price action between the 520 to 496 mark. So let's keep a close eye. And again, I'm trying to lower my average buy price. My current average buy price is around the 587 mark. I'm trying to lower that as much as possible. I've started buying around the 620 level, and I managed to lower my buy price to the 587 level in hopes of lowering it further. You can see how our PD levels make it extremely easy for you to trade. This area here was a very key area. Once price managed to overcome these levels of PD resistance, it then directly managed to challenge the 618 mark. Price action wanted to challenge, then overcome these collection of support levels. You could think of these resistance levels as breaks, not allowing price just to fly higher. Came into the market, they brought down the price, and price tried to consolidate within these resistance areas. It couldn't. Sellers came in and pressured the price down. Where did it go to? Did it go to zero? No, it did not. It went to the next PD support level, which was down at the 586 mark. Price tried to bounce and turn this area into support. It couldn't. Broke down further. Did it go to zero? No, it went to the next support level, consolidated between these levels. Again, recently sellers came in and sold down Bittensor TAO further, and now it's looking at challenging the 525 level. Now Bittensor is likely to challenge the 525 level. If it manages, if Bitcoin moves up, then most likely Bittensor TAO will follow. And these are the different levels. Thanks again for joining. Feel free to include these levels and trade along with us in order to accumulate and profit from Bittensor TAO. Again, just to summarize, these are my immediate short to midterm buy levels at the 527.7, 501.7, and down at the 562.7 marks. We've got a very exciting announcement for you guys in the next few weeks. We're going to be offering a pilot free trial access to our PD levels across different charts. We will initially be including Bitcoin, Solana, Bittensor, TAO, Caspa, and Cubic. Other charts are in the work as we speak. If you found any information in the video helpful and beneficial, drop us a like, subscribe to the channel, keep an eye again on the free trial announcement. Make sure you're following us on YouTube, X, Twitter, and Telegram. This was Joseph from the Press Detector. We'll see you again.